Does body count matter to you?
Yeah.
The male body count or my own?
But again,
Generally.
she just
then
answered
now-
the question.
Exactly.
You see, of course, you see it from
Exactly.
a different frame. The male body count.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I hear
You see
I
that
heard
even-
what I need to hear.
exactly. Internally, without you realizing it, it's a different standard. Because is 10 the same for a man and a woman?
Yeah.
Is it the same? I have 10. You have 10. Is it the same?
Well, the way the society sees it, no. Do I agree
Do you
with
think
that?
it's fair the way society sees it?
Oh, that's a fucking good question. Yeah. Do you think it's fair?
No, I don't.
Pause. Ibrahim, when you edit this, you need to bring back that area where she said, why are we talking about fairness? Because this is now a scenario that's this. The club scenario was in favor of the men.
Please.
This
don't
other
make-
scenario is in favor of the women.
Please don't make me a bad guy with this.
Do you think it's fair?
No,
now that
they
you know
won't
that
be.
you have talked about fairness not being relevant before.
Huh? In which way?
When we talked about the club thing, and I talked about, well, this standard is not fair because we have different experiences in the club. You said, why are we talking about fairness?
Yeah.
Now, the society have a
Yeah.
different standard,
Yeah.
but now you talk about fairness.
I still think it's two different perspectives, though.
Law and political science. What do lawyers do again?
We argue.
Ah.
I'm not a lawyer, though. The way the society sees it makes it degrading to a woman. It makes it in a way that it's okay for a man to have a body count of 10, but if a woman has a body count of 10, there are certain prejudice, there is talk. It's not the same thing in a way of it's in favor of men. So when I say the whole
Yeah,
thing
that's
with
why
fairness,
I'm being
again
careful to
advocating
ask
for
these
women
questions.
in this scenario.
It makes a lot of sense. That's why we need a voice on this podcast, right? Yeah. So we know that you will advocate for women, and I think what has happened with some of the arguments we've had here is that these are typical arguments that men and women would have even when they engage with each other, because one will advocate for the other, right?
Yeah.
But you have also made the point around a man's leadership in a relationship. Maybe that's also something that then puts the crown on the whole thing, right? Because when those arguments happen, there needs to be one person in that relationship at least that is the trust of their leadership, which in most times in traditional society it's the man. So the question is it the same? Body count of 10 for a man, body count of 10 for a woman.
The way society sees it, no.
You? Okay, we're moving on. No, it's fine because I know that puts you in a tight spot again. But guys, exactly. Think about that as you wish. Sarah is not going to answer that one. We're not protecting her, guys. She has an answer. I stopped her from answering. Do you think there's something like a high body count for a woman? For you, do you think there will be a number that if you think I ever get to that number, oh fuck, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would that number be?
Oof. I don't want to say that.
Okay.
I don't want to put it out loud. I have a number, but
Should I? Let's play it as a game. Above 10. Yes or no? It's a yes or no game, guys. Above 10.
No.
Ah, not bad. That's good. High five. I'm judging. Sorry, guys. I'm not the judge. Hey, but you said the high number is not above 10, so it's still below 10. That's very distant.
Sorry, I understood it in another way.
Okay, so it's a yes or no
As in-
if the number is within the range that I've. Okay, so let me use below. Below 10?
As in, is the number.
Is the number
Should it be
below
below
10?
10?
No.
Is it below 20?
Yeah.
At what age? Does the age matter for when you accrue this body count?
For sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
So at 25, below 20.
Gosh, don't put me in this position. I don't want to be doing this game. I don't like this game.
Guys. Okay.
Okay,
No,
let's
what I
move
think
on.
is
Let's move
so
on, eh?
different. So
Let's move on. Guys, I think there's a lot to unpack from that game that we just played. And we're not going to give it all out. sometimes you guys have to process it yourself, right? Sarah, they should think about it themselves. Um,
I
To
think it's
figure it
personal
out.
to everybody. It's a decision everybody has to make for themselves, and that's the way it is.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's it on body count, guys. We touched that topic, guys. Promiscuity, yeah. Ibrahim said promiscuity.
Right.
Ah,
I
Ibrahim.
dey do official guys. This is like wear shirt.
Oh,
Official.
oh my goodness. I'll tell you some funny statistics here.
Shoot.
I don't know if it starts here, but I watched a video on Instagram where this couple, they were asking this gay guy about body counts, right? And the wife said for her 10 is average high, like medium high, like average, but it's already getting to the high part of body count for
For men?
both parties.
Okay.
For straight people now.
Yeah.
And then she immediately asked her husband, who was far away, and the husband said something similar as well, and said 20 would be absolutely a high number.
Mhm.
And then the gay guy in front of them, they asked him, and he was like, what would be the beginning where you start to consider high number for gay people? Can you guess what this guy said? Just think about it. It's a very high body count. But can you guess? Like when you think high, just think about a high
I have
number.
absolutely no feeling for this whatsoever.
Like this guy is saying, well, gay people, we have a very different opinion about body count. And he was mentioning a number that is, this is where we start to consider that it's high. What would you guess? Just, it's high. It's a high number. Just throw it out there. Whatever number that comes to mind.
Like 100?
Higher.
I thought so. 250?
Yes. You actually hit the nail on there. It literally said
Yeah.
250 would be where we start to consider high for gay people. And I wanted to put that out there because it's that personal opinion, personal preference thing. Because to be fair, a lot of gay people were in the comment section as well saying, okay, maybe I'm not gay anymore then because 250, what the hell? And some other people were like, oh yes, because 20 is one night in parade weekend or something. So I only put that out there so that we see that there can be differences across people, across sexual orientation, on what you consider high or low body count. But it's very personal. If you have your personal standards around that, it's all up to you. I don't want to put too much. Personally, I wouldn't put too much into determining what a reasonable body count is for individuals. I think it's a very individual decision, and people should do it as such, right?
I feel like it's a very personal thing and it's quite peculiar to each and every one of us. I definitely feel like there is still a societal expectation and sort of number that on the average everyone would believe that it's normal or it's high or it's really high.
Mhm.
That's what I think.
I agree with you. What do you think the society is saying today?
For men and women, I would say from where I stand, I would say for women below 30, like 30 years of age, I mean the age now, like the body count probably below 10. And for a man below 30 years, higher, I would say maybe double that, maybe 20, 25.
Yeah. So I understand what Ibrahim is saying, and I think I sort of agree with him as well because of exactly the point of how women even view men. So there's this thing in society where, oh, a man, you're not having sex, you're not the most attractive guy, you're not the most admirable guy, you're not the most wanted guy because you're not having a lot of sex. And the woman that is not having a lot of sex is the most attractive and the most admirable to men. So there's that difference in views, and I think that's the societal difference that you were
Yeah.
talking about as well.
Yeah.
So I'm with Ibrahim on the societal numbers as well. Okay, that was great. Did you enjoy that section, the body count section? I feel like that's the one